13, 14-year-olds up, throw a gun in their hand, and put them. This is not much different than that, Alex. This is looking at our civilization. Our politicians can no longer sell these bogus proxy wars, these foundation-funded Trojan horses interventions. Look, with the new system, Alex, okay? The CIA shell company system that worked, in the 50s and 60s and 70s and 80s, that's obsolete now. Now they've replaced that with the foundation-funded propaganda Trojan horses, NGOs, and these sort of feel-good campaigns like this. I'm sure that our friends from the Soros foundations and the Ford, the National Endowment for Democracy, etc., they probably got their hands in the Kony 2020.
No, we've done the research. They do. State Department, everything.
And, I didn't even see that, Alex, and I could just make an educated guess. I can walk into the New World Order casino, and I can lay bets down, and I'm just winning, without even seeing. Because you don't even need to see the documentation. I was speaking to Kurt Nimmo earlier. We found some women's organization in Morocco who's opposing this new rape thing, and they're all going crazy in Morocco over this incident of this woman who committed suicide because she was forced to marry her rapist, okay? National League of Democratic Women or something like that in Morocco. Sure enough, there's a foundation connection which traces back to America, okay? I didn't even need to see the link.
And it's not going to end up helping women. It's just some type of background thing to make folks mad at Muslims, so when they blow up Iran, well, they deserved it.
The tear-jerking point in the Middle East and Central Asia is women. Look how they treat their women.
And in Africa, it's going to be children.
Exactly. And better than children, Alex. Through the 80s, from Live Aid, from 1984 or 85, and Save the Children and all these UNICEF commercials that we've had a steady diet of for about 30 years.
That's the cover for the UN slaughtering everybody.
That's conditioning, Alex. It's media conditioning of African children, and now we've got 2-3 generations who are totally indoctrinated into this image of African children. You got Madonna running down, adopting some black baby from Malawi.
And really, what the UN is the new colonial government.
Yeah, this is the new neo-colonial government. Why are they so desperate, Alex? You're wondering, why are they when you have to use kids to fast-track a foreign intervention policy, there is a reason behind this. The reason they're desperate, Alex, okay, is because they are 15 years behind China in Africa, while we've been diddling around in the Middle East, trying to shore up our geopolitical arc of tension right from Central Asia right around to Europe.
Ukraine, yeah.
While they've been diddling around, China has been slowly and steadily investing actual money, building infrastructure.
They're there with generators and wells and like, oh, you're not shoving a machine gun in my face? You're actually here trying to give me a job?
Yeah, what the U.S. has been doing for the last 40 years is their foreign aid program, okay? The foreign aid...
Here's some poisoned food. Here's some vaccines.
Yeah, the foreign aid or food aid, military aid, whatever it is. It's basically, hey, here's $1 billion. Come shop in my shop, which is Shop USA, and you can buy whatever you want as long as it's from Shop USA. It's about buying loyalty. So they've been able to buy off Egypt. They've been able to buy off the government of India. They've been able to buy off Israel. They've been all these countries they bought off with foreign aid, which Americans think that it's charity. The average American thinks that you...
By the way, they don't really spend in Shop America. You mean global shop. Because it's not even coming back to us. A globalist shop.
Yeah, well, American...
You got to buy it from the company store.
The American corporations, yeah. Maybe it's made in China or Taiwan, but it's the shop fronts in America. But this is the new colonial system. Now, okay, there's a problem now. The old colonial system, they raped and pillaged Africa for things like diamonds, okay? For things like certain kind of textiles, silk, whatever, agricultural products. Now, the new colonial, the neo-colonial paradigm has changed because the needs have changed. Now it's about rare earth minerals and things like uranium and a whole list of rare earths, which I can get into, that are...
Yeah, we're going to come back and get into that. And on the back of it, we're told it's for the children.
Yeah. Kony 2012. I've got a new image T-shirt I want to show you on the screen after the break. For a counter-propaganda image for Kony 2012.
All right, we'll be right back with Patrick Henningsen, do a little bit of overdrive with him, but a jam-packed transmission.
Radio Network.
And let's be clear, I'm not saying the Communist Chinese and what they're doing is some wonderful thing, but I've looked at their strategy. They've gone in and bought off the government of Australia and are getting something like 98% of the rare earth minerals that are mined out of Australia are now by the Chinese government-backed corporate interest. over 90%? It's like 91% worldwide. The Chinese are getting the rare earth minerals. They're actually trying to compete in a more free market way than what the military-industrial complex does here.
Yeah, the Chinese actually, Obama just fired off a couple of salvos at the Chinese today or yesterday, and he's going to use the WTO in order to play the part of the pit bull. So, you know, the U.S. used to be an economic power. We used to have a manufacturing base. What we've got left is the service industry. We've got a bit of media and software. And we've got retail, okay? The retail industry is totally dependent, electronics, everything, and the defense industry on rare earth minerals.
But if they're so worried about those, why did they let the Chinese dominate? Again, why did the West give them the Panama Canal? Oh, here, we built it, have it. Oh, here, we'll put tax incentives to move our companies over there because the globalists are playing us off against each other.
Yep, exactly. China is very much in the fabric of the New World Order setup, as we are, or as Europe is, or as some of these emerging BRICS countries.
Go over some of those notes. You got a bunch.
Okay, well, a lot of people don't know much about rare earth minerals, and I'll tell you what, you better learn about rare earth minerals, because everything that we enjoy as far as technological advances, from your iPod to your cell phone to your laptop to electric cars, okay, to solar energy. Solar energy is dependent on lithium batteries. Okay, there is a finite amount of lithium on the planet. The other one we've got is promethium. That's nuclear batteries. Okay, europium and neodymium. Okay, these are for guided missiles and a lot of advanced military technology.
Lithium,
lasers, and things like this. Lithium, gadolinium. Okay, this is a laptop, and neodymium cell phones. So cobalt and polonium, nuclear control rods, all these, you know, they're building nuclear power plants like it's going out of style right now. And let me tell you something else. The whole Darfur incident, and this is told to me by a top consultant to the European Union as far as on the energy department, he said there is a peak uranium issue. Okay, this is a real peak issue, not like peak oil that people talk about, where there's plenty of oil on the planet to keep consumption for the next 200 years. There is a peak uranium, and where is all the uranium? Sudan, the biggest deposit of untapped uranium.
And George Clooney wants to help them. Oh, trendy.
That's why the Janjaweed, we're getting all the black. Again, we get this black issue with Africa. We've got Obama in charge at the helm. The whole AFRICOM thing, he's going to take this through the next 5 years. That's why I believe Africa is too extremely strategic, important thing for America.
What do you think of my attack on Angelina Jolie? Obviously, I did it so we get attention. You say arrest Kofi Annan or Ban Ki-moon, it doesn't happen. But you say arrest her, that'll bring attention to it. But I think if she wants to say arrest Kony and everybody, well, I think she's arrestable then.
Well, you know, people put so much weight and importance in celebrities like Angelina Jolie and George Clooney. And believe me, Alex, some of my dearest best friends, they just fall over for George Clooney, anything he does or any campaign that he endorses, like he's some kind of saint. He's probably a nice guy. He's a very intelligent guy. He's made some damn good films, right? But he's not going to tell me how I...
Well, listen, I like George Clooney as an actor, but I hate his guts because he is smart. He knows good and well he's a warmongering piece of trash. That's what I'm saying. He's pushing all this while saying he's a saint. That's even worse than George Bush, who was a demonic goblin, but just was launching wars because he wanted to.
Because they're doing it under liberal cover. Okay?
Yes, it's disgusting.
Yeah, just like Obama's liberal cover, a liberal umbrella, a force field, a magic cloak, liberal magic.
I'm liberal. I mean, look, they have people now dress up in pink and green plaid shirts and literally go, war, trendy, All right, Patrick Henningsen here visiting with us. Congressman Walter Jones is coming up. We talked to him today, and in the retransmission that streams out to everybody, and some stations carry the fourth hour that's a rebroadcast of the first. We've got Congressman Walter Jones on impeachment of Obama. That's big news. Patrick Henningsen, investigative journalist, joins us. You've got the floor in the last few minutes we've got here to break down your investigation of this huge AFRICOM invasion.
I wrote an article April 13th, 2011, okay, for 21st Century Wire, and it was called The New Cold War in Libya, and it was about the Chinese investments in Libya and how Chinese took a major hit with the no-fly zone and the bombing of Libya. Okay, China is everywhere in Africa. They're in Angola. They're in Zambia. They're in Sudan. They're in Tanzania. They're in, what's the other one? Mozambique. They're big in South Africa. They have been for the last 20 years. Okay, China's got a major foothold all over Africa. Okay, AFRICOM has in its documents, and I linked to this on previous articles, it says specifically, AFRICOM is a bit of a trick as well, Alex. They say that the People's Republic Army of China might be deployed to deal with things in Africa, and that's why they set up AFRICOM so the Chinese wouldn't put troops in the African countries. Now, I would wager to bet that China has no interest in military putting boots on the ground in Africa. China doesn't do their business like that. Look at China's record in Africa. They're into building, investing, creating economies of scale. They put a port in Angola that country's been raped and pillaged by De Beers and all these corporations for over 100 years. They have now a state-of-the-art modern seaport in Angola.
But again, what's the schizophrenia here? Because the Chinese leadership is really wicked and works with the globalists, even reducing their own population. They do. It's like a weird double game. Because, I mean, you know, the West is saying get ready for war with China, but then on the other side of that, they're investing with the Chinese. It's really weird.
China's just securing its own. Look at China as a corporation, the People's Republic Incorporated. Okay, they're securing their raw materials interests, their rare earth interests, and others.
The Chinese know good things take a long time to grow. Yeah, it's more of a long-term view.
Yeah, if you read the I Ching, which every Chinese emperor had to have next to him since the King Wei dynasty 5,000 years ago. Okay, it's all about long-term plans. It's about thinking ahead. It's about the actions that you do today. What sort of plants will they reap? What flowers will they sow in the future? That's Chinese philosophy. Okay, Japanese is very similar. They do everything in 5 and 10 year blocks. We do everything on quarterly reports, which is 3 months. 6 months, 12 months. That's how our corporate culture has become. That sort of habit. But the thing that really kills me about Kony 2012, Alex, okay? They put a December deadline in it. And notice the word 2012, okay? This is very significant because what they've done is the end of the Mayan calendar, and this might sound to some people like a load of bull, but let me tell you, liberals and hippies and people who are into New Age religions are really into this end of the Mayan calendar thing. And the deadline for the Kony result that they want to see happen in Uganda is about the same time as the Mayan calendar says that time and everything will end on Earth. Okay, so it's
tied to Obama. It's like a campaign slogan.
So a liberal hippie loving for military intervention in Uganda. Okay, so now they've completely lost the plot. Okay, this is beyond crystals and tarot cards and seances and Ouija boards. Okay, this is really getting into the heart. This is where New Age culture is really invading into our lives, okay? Our political realities, our social realities, using Facebook and Twitter to share. Let's everybody share. Click, share, click. This is our...
And they're like, come on, pass it on, get behind it, help. Northcom wants to love us.
Facebook and Twitter has been used in the Arab Spring to create more of a significance than was actually there. And in Russia, they tried the same thing with the last presidential election 2 weeks ago. They tried to make a big social network sort of presence there. You know, it's a virtual presence. It's not real. The exit polls for Putin were around the same as the votes that were tallied for him. So that means that there was hardly any...
All right, Patrick, great job. We'll cover it more on the Nightly News. Thank you so much. Amazing. More coming up. I've seen the longevity products work for many others.